They call it planning. They call it responsibility. But often, retirement is merely an elegant disguise for something deeper. The fear of living now. We postpone desires, stifle passions, swallow routines, all in the name of a secure future that may never come. The system taught you to sacrifice the present as if it were disposable, and to call prudence what is, deep down, an escape. Nietzsche would remind us, whoever lives only for tomorrow is spiritually dead today. If you have the courage to keep going, you might discover that the problem was never time, but what you were convinced to do with it. Plan now. Save money. Work hard today so you can live tomorrow. These words, repeated like a mantra for generations, are treated as absolute truths. They're phrases spoken by worried parents, well-meaning teachers, self-help books, financial budget advisors, and even influencers selling productivity like it's a magic formula for happiness. They sound like golden rules for those seeking safety, stability, and a future free of unpleasant surprises, like the guidelines of a responsible, balanced, organized life. Like laws of the modern world. To plan is to survive. To dream too much is dangerous. But behind this apparent prudence, behind the rational logic and the success-driven rhetoric, lies something deeper, something you may have never stopped to truly face. An uncomfortable truth. This constant chase for the future isn't just rationality. It's escape. It's postponement. It's fear disguised as planning. It's a defense mechanism to avoid facing the present with courage and authenticity. And the word most often used in this process, retirement. Not as a well-earned rest, not as the celebration of a life well lived, but as a refuge, as a justification for not living now, as an excuse to postpone everything that really matters, as a tomorrow that may never arrive. Have you ever stopped to wonder why so many people spend their whole lives looking ahead, but never truly live? Why so many postpone trips, relationships, passions, and projects in the name of a future that always seems just out of reach? Why so many sacrifice health, time, and purpose to secure a retirement that might never come? The answer lies in something few are willing to admit. Retirement has become the new excuse for not living now. It's presented as freedom. But in truth, it's a prison disguised as security. It's a golden cage where millions deposit their dreams, hopes, and life energy, patiently waiting for a day that may never come. And meanwhile, the present slips by unnoticed. Opportunities vanish, people change, bodies age, and the soul grows heavier, because living is not the same as surviving, and the more you postpone life, the more likely you are to lose it. How many people do you know who spent their entire lives working toward retirement, only to discover, once they got there, that they no longer had the strength, desire, or time to enjoy it? Who were finally free, but had no idea what to do with their freedom? This isn't an individual failure. It's a collective one. It's a system that conditions us to believe life is only worth living once the work is done. The system doesn't need to kill you to use you. It just needs to keep you busy until there's no time left to truly live. And what's the most effective tool for that? Exactly this. The idea that freedom can only be reached after decades of sacrifice. That's why you hear phrases like, save your money. Your old age will depend on it. Don't spend now. Think about the future. Work hard today so you can reap tomorrow. You'll only be able to relax once you retire. All of that sounds rational, even wise, but it hides an insidious logic. You live as if you're training for a game you'll never play. You work as if each day is a race against time, but you forget to ask where you're actually running to. And in the meantime, opportunities are missed. Trips aren't taken. Relationships are neglected. Passions are shelved. Dreams are postponed. for a future that may never happen. You convince yourself you're building a life, but in truth, you're just assembling an empty structure made of plans and promises, never occupying the space it was meant to hold. One of the greatest lies of our time is this: if you save enough, you'll be secure in the future. But who defined what enough means? Who guarantees the future will be worth it? And more importantly, who decided that financial security is the ultimate goal of life? This idea was sold as an absolute truth, as if life were a game of accumulation rather than meaning, as if money were the only currency that matters, and as if time were infinite, eternal, and forgiving. Have you ever stopped to think how many people dedicated decades to the same company, saved every penny religiously, invested with discipline, only to reach the long-dreamed-of moment of retirement and discover they were alone, exhausted, and unsure of what to do with their newfound freedom, because life wasn't lived, it was planned. And when you live every moment as mere preparation for the next, you end up losing the only time that's truly real, this one. And here comes the final irony. You worked your entire life to finally have free time, but no longer have the energy to enjoy it. Nietzsche understood something most people ignore. Life only exists in the present. The rest is illusion, projection, fantasy. And when you live every moment as mere preparation for the next, you end up losing the only time that's truly real, this one. How many keep chasing career plans that no longer make sense? How many stay in soul-crushing jobs thinking it's worth it because it's only temporary? How many postpone important decisions believing, I just need to get stable first? And when they finally reach the top, they discover the view wasn't that great after all, that the peace they were seeking wasn't there, that the happiness they postponed for so long vanished along with the passion they once had. And then comes the cruelest question of all. Did I ever really live? Many people die physically sooner than expected, but others die emotionally long before that. They lose enthusiasm, they lose curiosity, they lose connection with themselves, and still, they keep moving forward, as if the only way to exist is to keep producing, as if living were synonymous with enduring, and no one questions it. Because the system doesn't want you to think about that. It wants you to keep running, even if your feet bleed, even if your heart slows down, even if your soul screams for meaning. And when you finally reach the finish line, you find out it was just another wall. That freedom wasn't there. It was on the path you ignored. Think about it. How many years of your life have been invested in something you never really wanted? How many purchases have you denied yourself thinking it's just temporary? How many once-in-a-lifetime experiences have you ignored, thinking you could wait? And more importantly, are you working to build your life or to sustain a system that doesn't even recognize your worth? The first step to breaking the cycle is understanding that life isn't a long-term project. It's a daily experience. Free yourself from that mindset. Start questioning what's truly worth it. Decide for yourself what your effort is really worth. Because freedom doesn't come from saving more. It comes from living with purpose, from choosing where to invest your energy, from deciding what the true value of your life is. And maybe, just maybe, true success begins with a single question. What is my own worth? And that answer, my friend, no one can give you. You have to search for it. With courage. With honesty, with an open heart, and above all, with the willingness to live now. There comes a moment when your mind clears and you realize that time does not wait, that life is not a sequence of tasks to complete, but a continuous flow of conscious choices, that every second is a decision, that every breath is an act of presence. And in that moment, everything changes. Not through some grand heroic gesture, but through a simple yes to the now. A yes to the trips you postponed, to the love you rejected for lack of time, to the conversations you avoided for the sake of work, to the silence you ignored, afraid of hearing your own inner voice. To begin living doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities. It means taking the reins of your own narrative, claiming the right to write your story with your own hands, to choose what matters here and now. Because life is not a career plan, not a bank account, not a long-term goal. Life is feeling. It's creating. It's daring. It's failing. It's learning. It's connecting. It's existing. And that can only be done in the present.